Tiebreakers here at Group E for the up and down matches for WCS Korea. We may take a look at our standings, but you guys have been staring at them for a while. You already know we are going to have the rematch between Swagger and Curious.
Yeah, and after the last game, we definitely have to say that Maru should, or Marine King should have maybe asked Maru for a couple of good Terran versus Boros builds.
Yeah.
Marine King here with a 2-2. The same is true for Swagger and Curious. How the tiebreaker goes into round 1. We start things off with Curious versus Swagger or Zerg versus Protoss, and then we're going to take it from there. Once a player wins twice, he will advance to the Premier League.
Yeah, so just gotta make sure that you win 2 games in a row. If you win 1 game, you at least save yourself the chance of... Well, actually, that's not true because we're not getting 2. This always throws me off because we used to have so many 6-player groups where we'd have really different tiebreakers with wild cards. We don't have that anymore.
All Swagger and Curious, our Protoss versus Zerg that we are playing now. We had this match, of course, already once back then. Curious was the one taking it against Swagger. It was our first game of the day when Swagger decided to go into 7-gate on 2 bases against Curious. And Curious saw that really early, shut down all the proxy pylons. But now it's going to be a different game, I guess.
Yeah. This is so funny. I wonder if Swagger will do the same build, because it's the build he's prepared for this map and this matchup. He obviously knows it really well. He already won with it, even though it was scouted. Maybe he does it again. Curious may be the one who has to alter his build.
Anaconda is going to be the map. A very different map than from what we've seen the first time. We were on Newkirk in game number 1, but now Anaconda is going to be the map, which is a pretty interesting map for this matchup. We saw Swagger already play once.
Yeah, he won against Roar, not against Curious in this earlier match. Here we go, going into map number 1 for our tiebreaker for WCS Group E for Up and Downs Korea.
And starting to the top left, we have the MVP Protoss player. It is in blue.
MVP Swagger.
He brought us into this tiebreaker with his victory over Marine King a little bit earlier today. Now we are in tiebreaker number 1. We have our first game. Swagger at the top left is starting against the Zerg player. To the bottom right, we have for Team Startail with a 10-pool opening.
Startail Curious.
I don't know how much I like a 10-pool on this map, because you're very likely going to be...
That was the most whiny voice that I've ever heard from you.
I don't know. I mean, I just don't... I mean, I don't even think I'd rather see something else.
Mom, I don't want to have a 10-pool.
Curious, I told you, man. He's going to go gateway expand. 10-pool is probably not going to do a lot of damage.
You know, actually, a 10-pool... he can throw an opponent off quite significantly, and he can actually make that happen, especially when there's no scout. And with the gateway opening, you do not have a scout on the map. So an unscouted 10-pool can definitely throw you off, and it's not a build where you sacrifice too much of your economy. You get a pretty good trade out of that. I don't think he's going to overcommit to the Zerglings too much, so I actually think it's really good to mix it up like this a little bit.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because Curious probably already knows it's going to be a gateway build no matter what. He's already shown that on this map. He was watching.
And look at how he plays it. It's a very economical playstyle. He actually goes into double extractor, goes up to 12 drones. That delays his overlord a little bit and also the time when he can produce those Zerglings. But he builds 8 lings in total so far, gets the queen out as well. So that actually kind of works.
Tight wall.
Keep in mind that this is one of those maps where you have right at the front these rocks that you can destroy, so you know that you will be able to get through there. And so far there's just nothing that Swagger really knows about this, so that could actually could succeed.
Certainly could. The Zealot, of course, is if the Zealot fights the Lings, the Zealot's going to lose, and he doesn't know yet that he should put the Zealot on the inside. And if he puts the Zealot on the inside, it's not useful either. So it's like it's kind of a lose-lose situation until he can hold on here a little bit longer.
In the regular group stage, he was able to take the game against Swagger. Can he take it again? There are the Lings. He needs to focus on some. Oh, the Zealot there. It's not where it's supposed to be.
Mothership Core, though, the key here, and he's getting it out already.
Yeah, but the pylon is definitely going down. And that same fate is true for the Zealot. It's going down already. Everything is unpowered. And now he can try to take down more of these pylons. But the Mothership Core is there. Can he force another pylon cancel? No, he won't.
And the thing is, all the resources spent on those pylons is wasted, and this this kind of equalizes things.
Mothership Core hated by Zergs and Terrans since 2013.
Yeah. 5 years from now, we'll still be able to say that.
Oh yeah, that is definitely the case.
I'm gonna make a shirt.
Players hate it, Zerg players hate it, everyone hates it, except for Protoss players. They love it.
I hate it when I can't find it. Sometimes it happens to me every now and then. I push the F2 key to find it.
I was just about to say F2 solve.
F2 solve, man. This is I don't know if this is the most valuable way to spend your resources.
Nice micro on the other hand.
Yeah, but he's gonna lose it anyways.
And he's in.
He gets in. He's gonna see what his overlord already told him, but is he gonna see the robotics? Because he is doing the same build as predicted.
It's exactly what he did earlier.
Yeah.
It's like so funny that he goes for the same build twice. It really worked well against Roro.
And the thing is, Roro also scouted and he's still lost.
He scouted
but Link
late,
will
though.
see this very quickly this time.
Yeah, and he should know what's going on now. But, you know, this is one of those times where I actually find it very difficult to analyze the game properly when we don't have our observing PC here. I would really like to know the harvester numbers now with this opening. I mean, we have 2 bases for both of them, but still.
I saw a second ago, I think Killer, aka Swagger, is up like 1 right now. With the next 4 coming out, he should be behind.
There comes the Warp Prism again. Gets the Warp Prism, we have double gas, and that's of course now also something that Curious really has to get out. If you're up against a gateway opening, you really want to have speed and you want to have those gas-intensive units. The problem for him being that with the 10 pool opening, the gas is very much delayed. That means that this is the reason why he gets the double gas and only a single extractor. Also, of course, we're already nearly 7 minutes into the game. He needs to get his tech out, especially since we have the first Immortals building. Swagger's just continuing with his build, and there's no reason why he shouldn't.
I mean, there's at this point, there's not much else he can do. Gonna add 3 more gateways if he does the exact same version. His timings are really affected by the Ling in his base and also the pylons he had to make, so that's why he's not adding all of his gateways at once. And the Ling survives. This Mothership Core was just not quite able to kill it, at least not yet. Maybe now with 3 more shots. Gets it. 6 gates, as mentioned. And he's gonna go, is he just gonna go with 1 Immortal? Looks like he very well may.
Yeah. There comes the second Immortal, okay. Second Immortal is now on the way. The Warp Prism is on its way to the bottom right. The creep spread so far decent for Curious. That will help him a little bit at least. Roach Warren is there, but still with 6 gates coming up, additional pylons are being built.
You can just see how much this timing is affected though. Curious can have so much more time because right now you're supposed to be warping in your first units with the warp gates done, warp gate research done. You're supposed to be out there with the Warp Prism warping in your first units now. His Immortal wasn't even done, so he has to fly across so much later. And he verifies again with the Overlord here.
Yeah, he sees with the Overlord everything. But this is still very difficult to hold. Think about what we saw in the first game when Roro was trying to fend this off. If you have good time warps and the Immortal targeting is good, the Warp Prism used to pick up the Immortals when they are being attacked. This is super dangerous to face, even with the Spawn Curl, and there's only 1. The speed for the Roaches is going to help, but with the second round of warp-ins, he has a lot here to tank damage.
I would rather see Killer warp in more Stalkers this time, because there's no Lings, it's just Roaches only, and yeah, he's just warping in Zealots, and I think with good micro, especially with these Queens also coming out here, Curious is in a pretty good spot. It is going to be hard to hold, like you said. Not a free one here, definitely not.
He's getting a lot of units, Curious that is. A lot more Roaches coming out, and Swagger, he needs to engage now, and that's what he's trying to do. Moving in, the drones coming off the mineral line, he is pulling everything here. The targeting with the Immortals is good, he's going for those Roaches immediately. A lot of those Zealots are actually still alive, taking down the Queens and reducing the entire production.
He needs to pick those Immortals up, and he actually pushes through. Even the drones are not able to take the Immortals down, and you know, Killer he's not out of this yet. He did a lot of damage, but he doesn't have any more warp-ins. Now they're coming through.
The economy is so low now for Curious. He's at 33 harvesters, and that's the same amount. The Warp Prism, the Mothership Core is nearly done. There it goes, but those Immortals, they still go to town. He needs to pick them up, and there we go.
Picking them up, really good micro so far, a few more warp-ins. And right now, Curious is just trying to hold on. He does not have a lot of production. The Roaches that are coming out are getting attacked instantly here.
No income. There's no income. These Roaches are all that he's got. This is just not going to happen. The Immortals are still going strong. Nice micro, exactly what we talked about earlier. Good pickups here. The Roaches, most of them eliminated. Most of the drones are gone. He's down to 27 now. The production is not there yet. He's losing lava. He doesn't have injects.
Right now, Curious just saying, I cannot believe this map is in the pool.
And he's losing the hedge.
Well,
he's going to lose the base. He's going to lose the Roaches. He's going to lose the game.
He could have tried to target an Immortal down, but if he does, then he loses the Roaches, and he's just out of luck here. Killer's production is not affected. Roach Warren will be targeted.
With the tech that we have on the low ground, with the hatch gone, no production, this is over.
It certainly is.
No Queen in the main base, if I'm not mistaken. I think he used both on the low ground, so we don't have any injects anymore. And the Roaches that he has, even if he pushes this back, 2 base against 1 base, just no. And the next round of Warp Instant should seal the deal.
Yeah, he's a target. His Immortal's a little bit better. It's just the thing is, even if he picks off a Zealot here, a Zealot there, the production is always going to be better for Swagger. Always. And he can start making Stalkers only now.
The choke point is the only thing that he has, and it's just like, yeah, this is just very unfortunate. Like, Killer is going back into probe production, and that's the right choice. He's getting the better economy right now, and he knows that this game should be over. He's walking up the ramp. He has Stalkers. He has these Immortals, and this is it. That's all. The
micro from both players is incredible. The micro from those Immortals was insane for Killer, but it's just micro can only get you so far, and he's going to finally try to target these Immortals down, but the pickups are excellent again. GG!
GG and game. The man with the swag takes game 1, and our tiebreaker here is 1 map win away from going to the Premier League.
That is just such an insane build, and it's only because of the map. Let's be totally frank here, no other map could this really work on. You can never take a base that freely with no threat of run-bys where you don't have a wall and you just make a bunch of gateways in your main base. Maybe you could do that on Calm Before the Storm or something like that, one of our old crazy maps like Crevasse, but in contemporary Starcraft 2, this is the only map you can do this build on. He does it twice. Apparently, it's almost impossible to stop.
It's a crazy build. It's definitely insanely good, and that's exactly what we've seen here now several times. So,
I mean, with Zealots alone in Wings of Liberty, this doesn't work because the Roaches just kill the Zealots, but with Time Warp, it's a totally different story.
It's just insanely difficult to stop.
It's a really tough build. It's like Parting's Immortal build. It's one of those builds that on certain maps you're gonna have some trouble no matter how good you are, no matter whether you see it or not.
The thing is, like, I can actually see that happen, that work on a lot of different maps if the Zerg is not super aggressive at the beginning. I mean, think about it, as a Zerg, most Zerg players don't gamble too much in the early game. They don't really want to go for such an early pool. This is one of the most aggressive openings that you can actually see for a Zerg player, and it didn't work at all. Swagger is just pulling it off, and now he's up against Marine King again. This victory against Marine King in the regular group, that brought him into the tiebreaker. If he wins it again now, he's in the Premier League.
Yeah. He's so close. You know, if Killer got through it, like I said at the very beginning of this day, imagining a world where Killer is in Premier League is insane to me, and I would be so happy for him if he does it. Marine King, on the other hand, has got to be unhappy he's in this situation in the first place because, well, he salvaged the bunker that he shouldn't have.
You know, we had Partying with the Soul Train, and people have been starting on the forums to call this the Swag Train, and I can definitely see why. The Swag Train is en route, and we might see it in a second tiebreaker. For now, it's probably just back in the closet since we have another matchup at Protoss versus Terran. We're going into the game. Marine King versus Swagger. Let's see who's taking this game. Will Marine King